The South China Sea is now one of the world's most tense maritime flashpoints. This region has become a focal point for international attention due to its strategic importance and the potential for conflict. The waters are not just a battleground for military might, but also a stage for diplomatic maneuvering. It's a vital artery for global trade. Trillions in goods pass through these waters every year. The sea lanes here are among the busiest in the world, serving as a crucial conduit for the flow of oil, natural gas, and manufactured goods. Any disruption could have far-reaching consequences, affecting supply chains and economies worldwide. Any disruption here could shake the global economy. The stakes are high, as even a minor incident could lead to significant delays and increased costs for businesses and consumers alike. The ripple effects would be felt across continents, highlighting the interconnected nature of our global economy. The sea is also a lifeline for millions, providing rich fishing grounds now fiercely contested by neighboring countries. For local communities, these waters are essential for their livelihoods, offering sustenance and employment. However, the increasing presence of foreign vessels has led to tensions and confrontations, threatening the traditional way of life for many. At the heart of the tension, overlapping territorial claims, with China asserting control over nearly the entire area, clashing with the Philippines and others. These disputes are rooted in historical claims and are further complicated by the discovery of potential underwater resources, such as oil and gas reserves, which add another layer of complexity to the situation. As China grows more assertive, global powers like the US, Japan, and Australia are sending warships to uphold freedom of navigation. These nations are conducting joint military exercises to demonstrate their commitment to maintaining open sea lanes and to reassure allies in the region of their support. These military moves and new alliances with the Philippines are meant to deter aggression and keep the sea open. The Philippines is strengthening its ties with these global powers, seeking to bolster its defense capabilities and ensure its sovereignty is respected. The world is watching, because what happens here could reshape global security. The outcome of these tensions will have implications not just for the region, but for international relations and the balance of power in the 21st century. The eyes of the world are on the Philippines as it navigates this complex and challenging geopolitical landscape. Tensions boiled over in the South China Sea, a region already fraught with disputes and rival claims. The world watched as the situation escalated, with both sides refusing to back down. The crisis reached a new level when Chinese Coast Guard ships fired powerful water cannons at Philippine vessels, attempting to resupply their outposts near Scarborough Shoal, a contested reef at the heart of the dispute. The Philippines condemned the attack, calling it a dangerous escalation, and insisting their ships were lawfully delivering supplies to Filipino fishermen and personnel in what they consider their own waters. Manila released dramatic footage of the confrontation, hoping to rally international support and draw attention to the daily risks faced by Filipino fishermen who depend on these waters for their livelihoods. China, however, countered with its own narrative, claiming the Philippine vessels had intruded into what it considers Chinese territory, and insisting that their response was both measured and justified. Each side accuses the other of provocation, with diplomatic talks growing increasingly tense. The standoff has deepened the divide, making any form of compromise seem more distant than ever. For the Philippines, the issue is about more than territory. It's about defending sovereign rights, protecting their people, and ensuring that local fishermen can continue their way of life without fear. For China, it's about enforcing what it sees as its historical territory, maintaining control over strategic waters, and asserting its growing influence in the region. Scarborough Shoal has become a volatile flashpoint, where every maneuver is watched closely, and one wrong move could spark a much wider conflict, drawing in regional and even global powers. The Philippines is fighting back with diplomacy and law, not just ships. Instead of relying solely on military might, the country is leveraging its diplomatic channels and legal frameworks to assert its rights and protect its interests in the South China Sea. Filipino officials are working tirelessly behind the scenes, engaging with international partners and making their case on the world stage. After the water cannon incident, Manila lodged strong protests and publicized the confrontation to rally global support. By bringing these incidents to light, the Philippines aims to show the world the challenges it faces and to build a coalition of nations that support its cause. These diplomatic protests are not just symbolic, they are part of a broader strategy to hold China accountable in the court of international opinion. Central to its defense is the Mutual Defense Treaty with the US. An attack on Philippine vessels could trigger American intervention. This decades-old alliance serves as a powerful deterrent, signaling to China and the world that the Philippines is not alone. Joint military exercises and high-level meetings reinforce this partnership, demonstrating a united front in the face of growing tensions. The Philippines also wields a major legal victory, a 2016 Hague Tribunal ruling that invalidated China's sweeping claims. This landmark decision based on international law affirms the Philippines' rights over its exclusive economic zone and sets a precedent for other nations facing similar disputes. The ruling is a cornerstone of Manila's legal and diplomatic campaign. Beijing ignores the ruling, but Manila uses it to press for a rules-based order. By highlighting China's refusal to comply, the Philippines underscores the importance of upholding international law and norms. This approach seeks to isolate China diplomatically and encourage other countries to support a fair and peaceful resolution. By combining alliances, legal wins, and global attention, the Philippines aims to deter aggression without direct conflict. Its strategy is to build a network of support, strengthen regional partnerships, and keep the issue in the global spotlight, making it harder for China to act unilaterally. The hope is that enough diplomatic, legal, and international pressure will force China to reconsider its tactics, paving the way for dialogue and a peaceful resolution to the ongoing maritime disputes. Diplomacy alone isn't enough. The Philippines is rapidly modernizing its navy. New guided missile frigates from South Korea mark a leap in capability, replacing decades-old ships. These warships, equipped with advanced weapons and sensors, allow the Philippines to patrol deeper and deter threats. The upgrade signals resolve. The Philippines is serious about defending its waters. While still outmatched by China, these ships raise the cost of aggression. With one of the world's longest coastlines, the Philippines needs credible defense to protect its resources and sovereignty. The goal: make any attack too costly to contemplate. The Philippines' naval upgrades and alliances are changing the balance in Southeast Asia, but new capabilities also risk more dangerous standoffs with China. The region now faces a delicate balance: deterrence without escalation. The outcome will test the rules-based order and set precedents for global disputes. If force prevails over law, the consequences will echo far beyond Asia. The world is watching, because the stakes are enormous, for trade, security, and the principles that keep the peace. The calm surface of the South China Sea hides deep currents that could shape the century.